I have seen salaries. I'm not saying mine, but I have seen salaries that do go up to $100,000 plus.
You'll never meet another person as mentally tough as you. Your entire life. And he hasn't. He never will.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Florence and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. If you're new, hello, welcome. My name is Florence and on this channel I'll talk about all things nursing with a sprinkle of vlogs and other topics here and there. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're returning and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you can be notified every single time I drop a new video. So in this video, we're going to be talking salaries. So for the most part, if we're being totally honest, some people that go into nursing go into it because of money to some degree. Not that it's the only reason why you go into nursing, but the fact that, you know, it is a stable career with a good income is a reason why we all go into nursing. That's definitely one of the reasons why I went into nursing. So don't be ashamed about it. It's cool. It's okay. Everybody wants a stable income and that's fine. But a lot of people still want to know, how much do nurses really make, okay? I know you can look at the salaries online, but I'm going to let you guys know whether or not those salaries that you see online are true, or is lower than what it is, or is higher than what it is. So if you want to know how much nurses really get paid, especially in New York City, and I'm saying New York City because I live in New York City, I work in New York City, so I can speak more about the salaries in New York City. So if you want to know, continue watching this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I did a little bit of research just so I could give you guys some numbers, and then I'm going to go into salaries specifically for New York City and let you know kind of just how much nurses are really getting paid out here. I'm also going to highlight a little bit of like the kind of money that is out there and extra ways to expand your salary or to increase your income. I have a paper here because I did do a little bit of research, so I wrote some notes down. So if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my paper and looking at my notes. The first thing we're going to get into is the highest paying states, and then we're going to get into the lowest paying states. So according to Forbes in 2020, the 5 highest paying states for registered nurses were California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, New York, and Oregon. And this is in no particular order. So these salaries ranges anywhere between $90,000 and $106,000, okay? And I'm from New York, and I can't say the salary from New York does fall in between those ballparks, but I'm gonna dive into that later on in the video. The 5 lowest paid states, again in no particular order, is South Dakota, Mississippi, Kansas, Alabama, and Arkansas. Just a disclaimer, and to just put things into perspective, the states that do pay more, the higher paying states, the New Yorks, the California, the Hawaiis, the cost of living is a lot higher than the lower paying states like Arkansas, Kansas, Mississippi, South Dakota. So if you're somebody and you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna move to California because they pay more over there, you also want to keep in mind that the cost of living in California, the cost of rent, food, and just everyday expenses is a lot higher. So at the end of the day, for the most part, it ends up balancing out, because if you go to a state that do pay less, the cost of living is lower. So you kind of want to just do the math and just compare states and look at the salary versus the cost of living before you do make a move if you are somebody that's planning to relocate for a registered nurse job. So now we're going to dive into New York State. I am a registered nurse in New York State. I've also lived in New York State most of my life, so I could speak in terms of like the cost of living and salary and stuff like that, and that's why I chose to focus more on New York State / New York City in this video. So according to Glassdoor.com, the average salary for registered nurses in New York State is $82,877. But the range is $70,000 to $106,000. You might be thinking, why is there such a gap in the range within the state? And that's because New York State in itself can be a little bit different. So if you're thinking like upstate New York, the cost of living in upstate New York tends to be a lot cheaper than the New York City and / metro area. So the salary in upstate New York will be a little bit lower than New York City. So in that case, the New York City / metro areas do have the highest salary. And these salaries could go all the way from $82,000 to $106,000. So let's dive into it. I am a registered nurse in New York City. And I'm not going to sit here and just shout out my salary out loud, but I will tell you, I have seen salaries. I'm not saying mine, but I have seen salaries that do go up to $100,000 plus. So $102,000, $106,000, all of that. If you are living in New York City and you're wondering, okay, how much am I going to get paid? Do expect that the salary is in that $85,000, $90,000, even touching that $100,000 range. But the cost of living, again, is a lot higher in New York City. So you also want to keep that in mind as well. The last thing I'm going to touch on is that there are many ways to increase your salary as a registered nurse, especially now in the COVID-19 pandemic. Like, nursing is where the money resides. Like, there is a lot of money to be made in the field. It's a lot more work, but there is money to be made. So if you are somebody that do have that extra time in your hands and you are looking to increase your salary, just know that the salaries that I mentioned is not limited to. There are many ways to increase your salary. I will make a separate video on how to increase your salary as a registered nurse. But for now, just know that there are ways to increase your salary / increase your income as a registered nurse. So even if you are in the states where the salary is not as high, you are able to increase your salary if you do have the time to do so, or if you're open to doing so. And that is it for this video. I hope that this video was helpful. Comment down below if these salaries are like in the ballpark, especially if you are in those states outside of New York City. Let me know how your salaries are looking, okay? You don't have to give us the exact number, but you could give us a little bit of average to help my subscribers out, just so we can know just how much nurses are really getting paid in those states. So thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video.